Welcome back. We are still on the journey of our tailgate interview with our candidates that are currently running in this next election. The day has been rolling, and listen, look who's in the hot seat now, okay? Every candidate that has come today has been dear to me because I've been watching you all for years. So it is always an honor and a pleasure to have these conversations, okay? So listen, y'all are tuning in. Before we get off, let me give my sponsor their credit. Southern Style Barbecue on the corner of Lee and Edgewater, 4890 Edgewater Drive. We thank you for sponsoring this, also for just taking care of everything with production and the experience of the IBA Success Tailgate. So first of all, Miss Lawanza Gelzer.
Yes.
For someone who has never met you before, and that's hard for me to believe, who are you and what is it that has kept you committed to this community for so many years?
I think it's my upbringing. I come from a long line of civically engaged individuals.
Okay.
My uncles were all farmers, part of the Black Farmers Lawsuit.
Okay.
Selma, I've had several family members that participated. The first March on Washington. It's just a part of who I am, civic engagement. My family believes in giving back, but also participating in the process. So I pride myself on my research, but really just getting down and finding out what is best for the community and how you can best serve the community.
You know, you've been involved in community advocacy since I've met you, since I've seen you, you've been involved with the community. What did you see happening in our neighborhoods that really made you decide it's time for me to get off the sidelines?
When our family moved here in 71, I just saw the conditions of Orlando and how our underserved community, our BIPOC community, what was transpiring. And I just felt like it was wrong that certain communities had nice roads and certain communities did not. When I moved here, I lived on a dirt road right here in the urban community of Paramore. And it was not until about 25 years later that they finally paved our roads. And I just felt like we could do more as taxpayers and as people who deserve to get the same thing everybody else gets.
Now, you've run for office before. Some people ask, like, why do you keep running? You know, what's your answer to that?
Because I'm the best candidate, and we need to understand that it's not about winning, it's about service. And so have you stopped me? Have you never seen me not stop working in the community? Have you always seen me the next day get back up, keep going, keep fighting? At City Hall, at County Commission meetings, at board meetings, I'm still there sharing that information. So when people understand what a public servant job really is to serve them, then they'll understand it's not a popularity contest. It's about service. And I think what's unique about me and why I have not won is because I am the voice of the community and not the special interest groups and not the developers. Not that I can't work with them, but they cannot control my voice. So when I tell people, please don't say I can't work with anybody, that's not true, because I wouldn't be receiving federal, state, and international work. I can work with people, but you cannot silence my voice to look the other way when I see wrongdoing, like justification and different things like that.
You know, so what have those previous campaigns taught you about yourself? Because the voters and what this community actually wants from elected officials.
That I was on the right path. And I had to learn that voters tend to go with things they might know or not familiar. So I never shared the things that I was doing. And it was another candidate in another race. I never knew you was getting funding from the federal government. I never knew you were doing all of this. I never knew you were doing work in Africa. They never knew what I was doing because I had learned to just do it quietly and silently. I did not publicize the work that I was doing. But now that people know the work I've been doing, it's like my phone hasn't stopped ringing. Grant opportunities and partnerships are steadily coming. And people like Lawanna, we needed to know this. Had we known this 2 years ago, 4 years ago, but I also had to learn how to brand myself and make sure people understood what I was about. So that's why I always self-fund my campaign. I don't want people to think that I'm not looking to work with my community. Not against anybody else, but I don't have any political pacts backing me. And that's important. I want the community to know I'm here to be their public servant. So yes, I've learned on the way. We're doing more voting outreach as far as mailers, direct mail, texting, phone banking. We're doing everything, commercials, everything we didn't do in the past. We're doing it this time.
You know, just being in the industry of business development and advertising, that's one of the biggest things that is important, that I see a lot of candidates, that's where they fall short, because you are an advocate for the city, for the community, and you get so wrapped up in the work itself, it's hard to put yourself out at the same time. You know, and so you've called yourself a community advocate, and I've seen that. Give me 3 examples where you have actually produced a result for the community.
Well, about 2 years ago, I was sitting in a room and not on the menu with this opportunity for seniors to get appliances and things in their community. And the key factor was they had not reached in the community. So it was $3.5 million that we were able to bring into Central Florida to our community. But what I did was I partnered with already established community stakeholders in the community. And instead of them going downtown, they was able to go to those individuals' homes to get their appointments. And I brought on community social workers to serve as that. So they went to the community. So that was one thing, $3.5 million to service our community. Another thing, everybody said, oh, she's all about that environment. I am. Today we have a heat alert. Okay. It's hot. It's extreme heat is serious. This is the #1 cause of death among all disasters combined. More people die from heat stroke and related causes from that. So working with the EPA, getting funding for the air quality monitoring, got over $1 million from private funding and the EPA. We're still one of the only organizations in the state of Florida that still get EPA funding. Wow. And then working with public health, working with the Central Florida Black nurses, bringing programs, bringing funding to expand what we do to make sure we can erase and eradicate health disparities in our community. You know, you have spent decades working around Paramore and other communities. What do you know about District 6 that someone just looking at a report may not understand? District 6 is downtown Orlando. District 6 is International Drive. District 6 is both Universal Parks. District 6 is all of International Drive. District 6 is Camping World Stadium. District 6 is the soccer stadium. District 6 is Camping IKEA. What I'm naming is we are a business hub of tourism. And I think we need to understand, stop looking at what people want you to see and see the potential of what District 6 is. We are the urban core of Orange County. We're the urban core, meaning we are the foundation for when people come, this is where they're coming to. District 6, SeaWorld, they're coming to these places. We're a tourist industry driven economy. Unfortunately, we've tried to expand to do other things, but what District 6 is the hub of the economic engine of Orange County. Ooh, I like that. I like how you describe that. Thank you. That is awesome. So if you become the commissioner, what are the first 3 problems you want to address? We have to deal with the affordability issue, especially on housing. Right now, the average cost for a house in Orange County is over $400,000. Okay. We need to change the zoning. I don't believe everybody needs a 3,000 square foot home. Okay. We need modular homes. We need tiny homes. And that starts with changing the zoning. Just give people options. We might want to have a mother-in-law suite in the back, a mini apartment. Change the zoning. So it can be allowed in unincorporated Orange County and in parts of the city of Orlando. What's unique about District 6 is people say, oh, I live in the city. Yeah, but you live in Orange County too. Okay. So you can vote for Lawanza Gelzer because we all live in Orange County, but we all don't live in the city of Orlando. Yes. I happen to live in the city of Orlando. Okay. And so as a taxpayer, I pay taxes to the city. 37% of my tax bill goes to the city. 25% goes to the county.
Wow.
So I'm paying, I feel like I'm being double taxed.
Okay.
So working together to understand that that's what District 6 is all about. It's the city of Orlando and the county and some other, working together. So that's one thing. And I'm going to always focus on my environment. And that with the EPA grant that I'm about to close out in January, with all the data I've collected with the air quality and issues, we wouldn't have gotten the grant if we weren't in the 98th percentile for some of the worst air in our country, which is in the urban core. You've removed all the trees. You have a lot of pavement, asphalts. You have a lot of things. We have a lot of roads coming through our community. I want to make sure our community is more healthy. So I'm not going to bash everybody. Every time I go to a meeting, they're doing a road, I give them a list of what type of trees or what type of plant life they should plant. And the last thing I want to do, on piggybacking on that, in day 100, changing the zoning, working on the environment, I want to partner with the links. I believe that we should have living wall bus stops, meaning plant life bus stops to absorb the emission. People standing out, they're breathing in that. And so you might say, oh, that's the same thing as the environment, but I want to give solutions. It's about solution, more green space in urban community. We have to, Mother Earth has been here for millions of years. Man has done so much damage in the time frame that we've been on this planet. We're right now experiencing something we cannot fix. We only had 2 degrees for the Atlantic Ocean to rise. And so now you hear them talking about disasters, hurricane, and taking it from a level 5 to a level 6. We're at a crucial point in our existence that we need to understand. But also just environment, economics. I'll never tell people, why should you talk about, I'm an econ and math major. I majored in economics and mathematics. I'm a statistician. I'm trying to bring solutions. So the first 100 days, change that. Let's change that zoning and create city and county neighborhood associations coming together to list their concerns and working together to make and solving those problems.
Wow. Those are some major moves in the first 100 days.
Can be done.
Can be done.
Can I say this?
Yes.
Because I'm already working on it right now.
Okay, and that matters when you're already doing the work.
On it.
How do you bring investment into historically underserved neighborhoods without ultimately pricing the people who live there out of that neighborhood?
If we're talking about jobs, right, unfortunately, from an economic standpoint, if we look at an hourglass, we have a lot of people making a lot of money on the top end. We have eradicated our middle class, and we have a lot of people who are not even making a livable wage. I just feel like there can be a balance when it comes to incentives and waiving impact fees. It's about accountability. I don't want you to get it all up front, and the next year you moved out half of the people who came in. Prime example, Paramount Oaks apartment. Everybody moved in, but a year and a half later, they had over 80 evictions because people they kept going up on the rent. There was no accountability. So I definitely want to work on our housing issue and finding housing for those working families.
Housing affordability, and that is a concern. That's what you're speaking on. What can Orange County Commissioner do realistically? Like, we can't just talk about it, but what really can you do?
Well, I'll use an example. Orange County in the city of Orlando has a lot of vacant lots. A lot of vacant lots. That's why if you bring in modular homes, and people might not think, what is a modular home? These are homes.
What is a modular home?
A modular home actually is a puzzle. It folds out to a home. You can get, I was in Selma, Alabama. They had like 10. They in Atlanta, they had like tiny home development. I'm saying we can get homes for $150,000 to $200,000. If you do this, use what we have, use the footprint. Let's use something different. That's why I said we must change the zoning. So if we want to change the type of housing stock, we have to expand the ability to change it. It can't be the same old thing always.
Yeah.
And so we have a lot of small lots in Orange County and in the city of Orlando that we can start with a project. And I've already contacted people to bring them in to show this availability. And see, I don't want us just building apartments.
Okay.
That doesn't bring generational wealth. Housing, ownership brings generational wealth. So that's the type of things I would like to do immediately.
So if a person doesn't agree with you, what would you do different from being an activist to a commissioner to get them to hear you?
First of all, it's called a public servant.
Okay.
So if they don't agree with me, we're meeting. My doors are always open. My cell phone is on my business, on all my literature. You can call me, and we're not going to always agree on the approach. But the thing is about what I grew up in is respect.
Yes.
So let's figure out where there's a compromise, where we can do something different. Bring another solution. I'm not going to shoot you down and think I have all the answers, because I do not. But it's called respect and sharing. So it's not the town hall meetings, because, I have a problem with city or the county commission meeting being at 9:00 in the morning. Most of us are at work.
Yes.
So I would definitely have after hours, which is to me normal hours, at 6:00 meeting with the community. Quarterly, I think I might have to start off with monthly town hall meetings, bringing the community together, because they need to know right now they're in budget season. The city budget last year was $1.4 billion. And now the county budget was 8.4, and now it's proposed to be $9 billion. We are in budget time right now, and a lot of our districts are not in the budget as far as services and seeing things. Bringing them there so we're not behind the 8 ball, and finding those people to serve on these committees that are not handpicked, but the ones that are going to bring the information and share it to the community.
Give me an example of when you had an issue and you've changed your mind after listening to people that don't agree with you. You just talked to me about how everybody's not going to agree. Okay. So have you had to change your mind from something that you wanted to do after listening to someone that doesn't specifically agree with you?
You got to change my mind, or I was re-educated.
Okay.
Or I saw it from a different perspective.
Okay.
Or I was presented a better solution.
Okay.
So I'm about research. I'm about finding a way to do something better in our community. So it's not changing one's mind. It said, I never thought of it that way. Let's see how we can work together to make a change.
To being educated about a solution.
Yes.
I asked that question because a lot of times, when we're a leader, we want our way and we see our way. And we have to be open to listening to someone that has a whole different perspective. Is ego a part of it? And will that ever fall in place? Or is it just what is true leadership for you?
True leadership is listening, being a good listener.
Okay.
So if you cannot listen, you cannot lead.
Yes.
If you cannot be willing to hear what someone else's perspective is, you cannot lead. And a true leader listens and research.
Yes. What do you think District 6 is not getting right now from the current representation?
I just don't think anybody know what was going on unless they went to the county commission and figured out what was going on. A lot of people were not getting the information. I'm not knocking anybody. That's just not the way I do things. Prime example, I said heat alert. Well, Lawanna, I'm sending out heat alerts all over.
Right.
I feel like as the county commissioner, I would expand my dashboard of allowing people to understand what's going on in their community.
Okay.
Everybody thinks it's Facebook. It can be a whole multitude of sharing information. I am not an information hoarder. Other people have used that term. I do not believe in holding it and you come to me. Mm-hmm. No, I believe in sharing, and together we can make better decisions. Mm-hmm. So I think, honestly, because of the situation we're dealing with now, it's about sharing information and getting out from downtown and the county commission and being on the streets and in the trenches. Now, that's something I'm good at.
Now, being that you're good at that, that means you've been out there knocking on doors and you've been talking to people through this campaign.
Yes.
What are some of the complaints that you've heard from the residents?
They are really tired and they're afraid of misinformation. And the most important thing, it's expensive to live in Orlando.
Okay.
Affordability is the number one thing, especially with our seniors needing to get a second job to just make ends meet. Okay. People are struggling financially here, especially in District 6 and throughout Orange County. But that's one of the things I keep hearing over and over again. Do I pay my light bill? Do I get my medicine? Or do I pay my rent? Or do I buy food? It's a struggle right now.
What do you think a real solution will be for residents that's truly suffering? Because I think that's not just a District 6 thing, it's a community thing. What is the message for families that are struggling between medicine and utility bills?
I think we have to be honest to look at the climate that a lot of things have happened to our economy because of the current administration in Washington, D.C., but that doesn't stop the pain. I think sitting down, I never forget inventory research. Inventory. I can do a food bank, but if we a food giveaway, but can we find those who are doing it regularly and put them in charge and reaching out to the community to say you can come on this day? I think we have it. I just think there's a breakdown of sharing information, and we don't need 1,500 book bags giveaway. It should have been one major. I think if we streamline and look at what we have in our community, be surprised. And sometimes I had to learn something. I didn't even know the largest food bank gathering food was the Postal Service. Wow. When you're asked to put your food outside, it's the largest in the country. In one community, one food bank group, it's enough to last them for 6 months what they get from the post office. Wow. What if we ask the post office, instead of once a year you do this, let's try doing it twice a year.
Yeah, combining the
effort. So I think if people know how they can serve, it's not that it's always $100,000. Sometimes $15 go a long ways for a family. But now, instead of one person, we got hundreds of people doing $15, and look what we can do together.
Yes, and working together. You know, there's several people that's in this running for this seat. What do you feel like the current representative is doing well?
I'm sorry. I have some concerns budget-wise. I've looked at the budget. We were not in the budget at all. And he has his mentor program. I think I just would have went about things differently than him.
What do you think he's doing well since he served in the term?
Working with young people.
Okay.
But that's, to me, is social work.
Okay.
That is not your job as the commissioner. That's your love and passion. Okay. And so I can continue to do my love and passion, but the job as the commissioner is policies, ordinance, and procedures. Okay. And that's what we need to get back to. Everybody run for office. The first thing you do, we're applying for this job. Well, you can't apply for a job if you don't know the job description. So you need to know the job description. So that's the most important thing. Know what the job description is. Then you'll know what you should expect from the elected official.
So residents here promises every election cycle. Give me something specific that voters can hold you accountable for right away. What can they hold you accountable for?
While I've been here, I have a grant writing team. We've found 5 grants that there are many grants, but we're going to apply for them, and it's to bring solar panels, solar power into our community. Okay. So it's looking for additional resources to fill in that gap. Okay. We cannot always look to our government to do everything. There's not enough money for that.
So if I interview you again 2 years from now after you're elected, what measurable results should I expect from you?
That we found additional funding. Okay. That we have definitely dealt with the environmental issues and the health issue related within District 6. And that we partner with so many of our businesses to bring resources to close that gap. Of service.
So, and you've been in politics and advocating for a long time. Why do you think your message hasn't translated into winning elected office previously? And what's going to be different about this one?
Well, 4 years ago when I ran, I don't think people knew what I was going through. My mom died 30 days before the election. Wow. This election was very, very close. I got 49.2% of the vote. He got 50.8%. So it was closer than most. It was a close election. I was not supported by the establishment. I self-funded, and it's okay. What's unique about this race is, let's look at the new district. When you look at the new district, I did win in the new district. But what have I learned from that? You never stop working.
You never stop working.
You never stop working. You keep fighting. You keep moving forward. And despite all of that, win or lose, Lawanna feel she's doing very well in the polls. We're feeling good in the poll. But it's not about I beat you. It's about I'm bringing solutions to the community and how we can work together. And like I stated at the beginning, I never shared about the resources that I was bringing to the community. I just did it because it had to be done. Right. This time, it was told to me by someone you were interviewing later on, that's running for Commissioner 2, George Oliver III. I never knew you was doing all of that. You need to at least share it with the community. Because I think if they knew what you were doing, they would see you differently. Even telling people what school I went to and my educational background, I didn't share that. I just felt like my work would speak for itself. But if they didn't know about my work, how could it speak for itself? So that's the thing I really have learned. I'm not bragging. I'm proud of our accomplishment. And notice it's a team that I work with. I just happen to be the project director and stuff, but I have a team of great community servers who believe in making a difference and has been doing this a long time.
Well, just to correct you, I'm not interviewing George Oliver because I doubt he'll sit down and talk with me.
Oh, I thought I saw his picture on there.
No, I really doubt he'll sit down and talk with me because a lot of the things that happened when I was working with him, I just don't felt dealt with integrity. And I don't believe that.
Sorry.
Oh, no, it's no sorry. But, maybe at some point with him being into leadership, he'll make his wrongs right.
Oh, my God. I thought I saw his picture, so I'm wrong.
No.
But it was him that told me.
And some of the things and credit that he told you were some of those very things that he learned through Gen Yon Agency that worked tirelessly on his campaigns to work. And there's still a lot of unleft stuff said for that. Wow. But as a person that focuses on growth and focuses on movement, I chose not to publicly put out, his errors, his faults, his lies, because I just feel, why focus on the past? Because whatever people do in the past for the reasons that they did it in, they're not the same people today.
I'm glad you said that. I thought he was being, but it was him.
Yeah.
It was. I have to go back. I really don't know him. Yeah. He's in District 2, but he was at an event and he had no idea. And he said, "Why don't you tell people what you do?" Now, there has been other people that have said the same thing. It has been my family members who always supported me, and it's been literally my savings and my business ability to raise funds to put in my campaign, but to share. I was like, no, I don't want people to see it differently. But now I understand we have to show the results.
You have to show your results.
We have to show our results.
Yes.
And so the slogan is, I'm asking for your vote on August 18th, but Lawanza Gelzer gets results.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So some voters have said you have repeatedly been running. You know, and I hear this all the time. And the question is, what is the goal? Is the goal public service or just simply getting elected?
But the goal is public service.
Okay.
And to be elected, because I believe with my experience and my background, I will bring better solutions working in our community. And look at that budget. I'm about that. I'm about that
budget.
I'm about that money. $9 billion is a lot of money. And so we need to understand what's getting ready to happen. And education is important. I mean, we cannot always be on the back burner for resources and our roads being paved and infrastructure. We have to understand. That's why when you asked me, you said, what is District 6? I said, we're the economic engine of Orange County, which means we should look like the economic engine of Orange County, which means our roads should not go in disrepair as long as they do. And so I'm looking at that. We need other things and electric buses through our community. We shouldn't have been the last to get a terminal. We should have been one of the first one to get a bus terminal. That's why I'm giving you things so people can see how to make change. So when you come, you're not just on International Drive. You have no problem coming to see all the rest. Who's going to be here next year playing football? The Jaguars.
Yes.
Well, they're going to be coming right down our streets, Church Street. Has anybody approached you about additional resources to make it where people are coming, the wear and tear on the road? That is what I'm talking about.
You know, there are voters watching right now who like you personally, but still undecided about voting, okay? I want you to look at them and I want you to make your case to them and tell them why you and why now.
The work, she gets results, she's humble, she's asking for your vote, but Lawanna is about solutions. She's driven by finding solutions. And it's just time that as a voter, we do better research and finding out if it's just someone saying it or is it someone who's been able to do it. And the thing I have to say that separates me from all the other opponents that I'm running against is I'm not saying it. I've gotten $9.3 million in the last 3 years from state, federal, and now international funding. I'm not saying it that I brought additional $25 million to the Central 4 corridor. I was able to do it. I'm not saying what I'm going to approve. I'm trying to make sure that we move forward and understand together we can make District 6 the true economic engine of Orange County. Team, what results we can get. So it's just time for us to say, give her a chance. She's not going away, but she's a fighter. And I've never stopped working in the community. I've never stopped.
So I want you to finish this sentence for me. If District 6 gives me the opportunity to serve 4 years for now in this community, I will. If District 6 gives me the opportunity to serve 4 years from now, this community will.
I will be honored, humbled, grateful, and will be the fighter for your voice and advocate for you like no one ever has been able to do. That's what I would do.
You know what? And I think that's a wrap. You all, thank you so much for tuning in. This is the Tailgate candidate event. I am just thrilled. This was like exciting for me. Is there anything else you want to say before we close out? Because Listen, that seat is hot right now.
I just want to say, I never tell people, but it's been questioning. My family moved to Paramore in 1971, me personally.
Okay.
However, my family has been in Paramore since 1948. Okay. So we've seen some changes. I have been a business owner for 45 years. I jokingly say that because I'm only 21, but I've been in business with my family, my mom's child care facility, my late mother. I have 2 companies that I've been a consultant with. I'm just saying, with all of that, I'm ready on day one to serve because I understand that it's not a social worker job. This is a public policy job. This is about doing research, bringing resources and solutions. I'm not saying the other people might not be able to do that. I'm just saying I've been doing it for 40 years. I'm ready to serve as your next county commissioner for District 6.
And you are, with that being said, it's lunchtime, right?
Yeah. And I'm going to patronize local. I always patronize local businesses when I purchase anything. Everything I get is local businesses in Orange County, and only one of my individuals that I buy my fans from is not in District 6 because of rezoning. Okay. But everything else is in District 6.
Y'all, thank you for joining us. This has been another episode of our Candidate Tailgate from IBA Success Magazine, sponsored by Southern Style Barbecue, located at 4890 Edgewater Drive. Listen, y'all go get y'all some good barbecue and y'all come and check us out down here at Jenny's. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
I'm sorry about all that. Where did I see his picture? Oh, is it still on?